Well, yeah. What's camp been like for your room?
It's been good. It's been good. It's been competition, and something that was much needed. And I think we're getting closer to find out who the guys are that's going to be able to help us on Saturdays. And so, but it's been good. Been competition, and praise to Coach Thornton. It's been battles up front, and so. It's been a good deal though for us.
Because obviously out of the ton, have you noticed any issues or ran anything in terms of just getting these guys to gel together or some continuity aspect?
Yeah.
Just kind of, what are the challenges that come with that?
Anytime you bring in, 4 transfers and some freshmen, particularly in the inside, it's different. Everyone wants to, play and wants to know who's going to be the guy and all those other things. And so, getting the guys to understand, like, hey, we need everybody. It doesn't matter, if you're named the starter or not. And so that part, it actually hadn't been as hard as what many people may think, just because, they've been gelling together. They've been doing everything together all summer. Some guys been teaching the newer guys the playbook and things like that. And so just knowing that, the more people that we have, the better we're going to be as a whole.
We talked to you and you said it's a rep chart, not a depth chart.
Oh, 100%.
How much has that created some competition, though, with the rotation? And we saw a bunch of that even Saturday.
It's been great because, like I tell them, I say, hey, man, it's not about how you, it's not about what you've done in the past. It's about what you do every single day. And so knowing that you got to bring it every single day, those guys have actually answered the bell. And I told them, I ain't afraid to play a freshman. If you come out and you do what you got to do, you're going to play. And so it's brought out the best out of those guys. It really has. Nobody has shied away from it. Nobody has moped from it. And so, excited to see what the rest of the camp, how we finish with that. And, just keep getting after it.
Speaking of playing a freshman, I'm pretty sure I saw Malik blocking out there with the first team, the first scrimmage.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, he went out with the first team in the first snap of the scrimmage. But like that happens, all the time. It could be Rakes and Bleedy, it could be Malik and Jason. It could, it's just a big combination. So we have about maybe 6 guys right now that I would feel comfortable with throwing out with the ones, and that's a good problem to have. And so Malik, though, has done a really good job of being a sponge and has taken his technique to another level. He's going to be, a player for us, and I'm expecting big things from him.
You see some Marcus Harris in him?
For sure. The part about him that, is very intriguing is that he's a really smart player. He's a football junkie. He wants to know everything that's going on. When you're asking questions in the meeting room, he's answering them. And you can coach him. You can coach him hard. And so those are the things that you see from him that makes you be like, wow, well, this reminds me of somebody that we had before. But he's going to be a bright one.
What have you seen from Isaiah? He talked about obviously already knowing a lot of the playbook, and he talked about just trying to dominate his last season. Do you see some of that?
Well, the funny thing is, Rakes know the playbook better than me. So, but Isaiah is explosive. He's big. He's quick, and he's a great guy. Many people wouldn't know, but Isaiah wants to be a coach when he's done. And so there's times in the meeting room where he gives suggestions on things, and I'm like, we don't do it that way, but that may be a good way to do it. And so it's been a pleasure to have him. But he's a load. He's tough, and he's going to be a difference maker for us this year.
How valuable is it to have a guy like that knows the defense, to be able to be another coach for you right there?
It's valuable. And the beautiful thing is, the way we talk about it in the defensive line room, I don't care where it's coming from as long as it's the right stuff. And so there's times that, I'll admit it, I don't have the answer. I don't know yet. And Isaiah will say, well, this is, a way we did it last year. I'm like, all right, well, let's try it out. Let's see how it works. And so, it's been good to have him in the room. Not just him, but like a bunch of the guys that have played, college football before. Just giving guys tricks of the trade and things like that. So it's been good.
The depth on the interior has been one of the biggest talking points the whole this offseason on the defense. has anybody kind of separated themselves within that six that you mentioned, or is it really just going to be just a big rotation?
Yeah, it's gonna be a drawn out thing. The starters, whoever may be the starters for week 1 may not be the starters for week 2. It's going to be about who practiced the best, who played the best, and ultimately, it's going to be a rep chart. If we get to the game and you're a 2, but you get out there and you're hot, well, guess what? Your butt's staying in the game, and so that's what it's going to be about. But all the guys have been working their butts off, and I've seen Jason step up some. Isaiah Rakes, like I said, I talked about him. He's a great weapon to have. Philip Bleedy is relentless. He's one of those guys that when you get to talk to him, you see from his eyes that he's in there and he's about everything. And Trill and Gage have done a great job as well. And Malik Brockton, like I said, he's done a really good job as well. And so those guys have put themselves in a good position to help us big time.
We heard Freddie's talking about Bleedy and how strong he is.
Oh,
where have you kind of seen that stick out on the field?
Well, I won't even talk about the field. I'll talk about just the day-to-day. When you shake Bleedy's hand, you better be ready. He might throw your shoulder out of socket. But he is, strong, fast, twitchy. He's a good dude. And the thing I love about him the most, though, he has a why, and you see it every time, he goes out on the field. He's playing for his wife and his kids, and that's the unique part about him. You see it. He loves the game, and he shows it because, he plays so hard. And so, he's different. He's different for sure.
Vontrell, we've talked to a lot of your guys this preseason, and they mentioned how they advocated for you to Coach Freeze. When did you kind of catch wind of that? And I guess what were your conversations like with them?
So, it's interesting. When JG left originally, he had said that, it should be Vontrell's job. Vontrell, has earned it. And I was just like, man, hey, look, if it happens, it happens. If not, there's something else for me. And, I'll be grateful in it. And so, just hearing how the guys went to bat for me, I know they went to talk to Coach Durkin at times and talk to Coach Freeze a bunch, and it meant a lot to me. But I started hearing about it. I started hearing about their support shortly after, JG decided that he was going to leave, and I said, hey man, look, I'm not in it. Y'all go do what y'all want, but if it's meant for me, it'll happen. And so, super glad that it did happen. Super blessed, and I'm definitely not taking this opportunity lightly.
I know you and JG are close. How often do you guys talk?
Probably every other day, or probably every day or every other day. We talk about different things, from new techniques, things that he's learned. We talk about some of the guys here, how they're doing those things, and then most importantly, we talk about life. Like I told y'all before, he became a best friend now, and so we talk about everything.
And that said, how have you seen, what part of your coaching do you think has improved the most since spring to now? Your personal improvement?
Yeah, I think the technique piece has improved some. I got a chance to meet with Coach Pete Jenkins over the off season and spent the week with him, and he, we went into the foxhole now. We were in there missing lunch and everything. I'm a big dude, so missing lunch, they got to be real important. You know what I mean? But no, we had a great time, learned a ton about actually teaching and the process of teaching. Not necessarily always being the rah-rah guy, but teaching it and looking at the small things that makes the guys better. And so that's the thing. That's what I truly believe that I've seen my growth in as a coach.
Vontrell, your defensive line moving from when you got here to now, how much has it gotten better, would you say?
We've gotten deeper. And it's big, And so, like I said, we're going to have to roll guys. You saw last year there were times where, we probably have 4 or 5 guys with maybe an injury away from being in a really bad situation. But now, feeling comfortable enough to, roll 6, maybe 7 guys. Maybe play Keldrick some inside or Z-Walk some inside, and having that flexibility to do that, it definitely feel way better about where we're going, where we're headed.
when you look at this program, the way you guys are recruiting, some of the young defensive line you brought in, some of the guys are committed now.
Yeah.
How excited are you for the future of this program?
Very, very. We got a really good future ahead. As you know, it all starts in the trenches, and so if you don't get O linemen and D linemen, you don't have a chance, not in this league. And so we've made that a priority, and we're going to recruit the best, and we're going to develop the best, and let's see how it falls out.
You mentioned Pete Jenkins. I know a lot of football guys talk a
Oh,
lot
man.
about it. Just how special was that, and just how special is he as kind of a guy for especially defensive line coaches?
Yeah, well, I just talked to Pete the other day, and you know, it's funny when I first met him. My nickname was Biggin, and I progressed now to Big Von. But he's been a big time mentor for me. You know, I just got engaged this summer. After I got engaged, I sent him pictures and all those things, and he told me congratulations and said he was going to dance at my wedding. So, but he's been a big time leader and mentor for me, and learning the game and how to teach it and all those things. You know, it's been nothing short of amazing.
Vontrell,
Good.
Vontrell, with recruiting, you guys had a lot of guys jump on board. What is it right now that's got Auburn so hot on the recruiting trail?
We're just real, you know, and I don't know how everybody else is doing it. We're just who we are. We're unapologetic about it, and you're either going to like us or you're not. And so far, it's hard to not like us because of how genuine we are and how we want to pour into the guys' lives. And so, the biggest recruiting tool that we have are our players here now. You know, when they come and hang out, I just challenge them, ask the guys, how is it? And so they get to spend that time with the guys that we have here, and I think that's our biggest recruiting tool.
Vontrell getting Lawrence to kind of be your right-hand man. I mean, how special is that, and having coached him last year? And I guess what was that process like for him to jump into that right away?
Yeah, so to start, so when I got the job, Coach Coca was, an assistant for me, and he's still here, and phenomenal coach. I truly believe that he's going to be probably in the same position that I am in now. This time next year, having to run his own room and all those things, phenomenal. But Coach Lawrence, it was special because he told me what he wanted to do, and he said, I want to coach. And I said, well, there's not a lot of money into it. And I told him, how I did it. And I said, hey, I volunteered for a year before I started making anything. And what Lawrence did was he volunteered for us in the spring. Didn't make a dollar, didn't complain, was there every day, and was there late at night. And he worked his butt off. And so we had an extra GA position open that it was going to sit. And Coach Coca first brought it to me, and he said, Vontrell, we need to get this thing done. And I was like, I agree. And so Coach Coca and I went to Coach Durkin, and we said, hey, this guy has shown that he wants to be here. He's worked for free. He's done a great job. Let's give him the opportunity. And Coach Durkin spent the day thinking on it, and gave him the opportunity. So super blessed to have him. He's done a great job. He's going to be another bright one in this industry.
Where have you seen that TJ Lindsey guy still has some more to add to his game?
Yeah. No, he has a lot more to add to his game as well as they all do. But what I see from TJ is that he's relentless. He plays hard. He don't stop. And so, and he's also coachable. You can coach him hard, and you're gonna get the best everything that he has. And so he's gonna be a work in progress. But I'm excited about where he's going.